Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Simon and Cars YouTube channel. As always, I'm Simon, and today we're starting something I am very excited about. To my right, we have my E46 Time Attack car, and to my left, we have a Chevrolet Small Block, in other words known as an LS, being that the term for the fuel-injected, more modern small block Chevy. Today we are starting a project which I am very excited for, which will end up, at the end, with this motor inside this car. Now, why am I doing this, you may ask? This car is amazing. I love it. I want more power. Do I need more power? No. Is my driving skill there yet? No, not at all. But as someone who likes to work on cars and tinker with cars, I think this is the next evolution in the terms of I want to take the car to the next level. I've looked into power adders for the M54, whether it be turbo, cams. It's all a lot of money for not a ton of return. And with turbo, it's adding more heat, more complication, more points for failure. It just, all in all, it complicates the current drivetrain without providing a way higher ceiling. Yes, it does move the ceiling up, but we're still limited by the capabilities of the stock drivetrain, being that stock bottom end of the M54, what the cams can flow, what the heads can flow, etc. So the idea was, what can I take and put in this car NA that would be a drop-in, that would have better parts availability at the track, like when I go to Groton. If the car breaks, what drivetrain can I have that I can go and buy almost anything at an auto parts store? The Chevy LS. And that got me thinking, what would be the best engine to take and put in this car to give it the best power to weight ratio and keep it simple? Now, you may think, LS1 out of a C5, way too expensive. LS3, way too expensive. LS4, impossible to swap into a rear-wheel drive format. So that led us to what we have here. So what do we have here, you may ask? This is an LC9. This is a Gen 4 aluminum block 5.3. This particular motor is out of a 2011 Chevy Avalanche. So it is very much the same as what you would get out of a Corvette, packaged in a truck fashion, but the most important part is that it is an aluminum block. So I'm doing my math. The M54 is roughly 100 pounds lighter than this package when fully dressed. The iron block is another 100 or so pounds heavier than that. So I figured that the best option for budget and for weight balance and for power was to find a Gen 4 aluminum block LS, because then I don't have to pay the name tag price of the LS like what you get in a Corvette or a Camaro, but I still get the weight savings of the aluminum block. Now you may find yourself asking, Simon, how are you going to put this in there? What drivetrain are you going to use? What transmission? What drive shaft? What differential? What axles? Doesn't that get super expensive? Well, lucky for us, my car's a 330, which means that I can use this. This is a PMC Motorsports adapter kit that will bolt the factory ZF 5-speed from my car onto this LS. So that means I can use my stock transmission, my stock drive shaft, my stock differential, and my stock axles. This comes with the flywheel, the clutch, and the pressure plate. All I need to bolt the ZF to the LS. So that handles our drivetrain. Now it's up to me to make the rest of it work. So to get started with that, before I can order anything else for this, we need to start tearing it apart so that I can decide what accessories I'm using and figure out what all I need to buy. So without any more yapping, let's start tearing this thing apart. So I'm gonna start by taking off this alternator bracket and the power steering. So those are all 16s. Much better. The biggest accessory bolts I've ever seen. Coming from my little German cars where all the accessory bolts are like 10 mils. Big honking guys. Not used to that. Is there a bolt on the back? Of course, there's always one hidden behind. Oh, I lied. Oh yeah, that was a lie. Man, this thing's heavy. Onto the scrap pile. While we have the 16 on, I'm gonna take this AC, or the 15 on, I'm gonna take this AC bracket the rest of the way off. What am I missing? Nothing. Okay. These bolts throw this way out. This is another thing I was really looking forward to with the LS, is that they are just so simple. That right there. What, have we been going for 3 minutes? Entire accessory drive off. 3 minutes. 2 sockets. Like, can't beat it. I guess the last thing to take off is the motor mounts. Again, it's part of why I'm so excited about this. Granted, this motor will not be super simple when we're done with it. In terms of shoving it in an E46 inherently makes it not as simple, but that's the motor mostly torn down, and that took 2 minutes. So, I already know I need headers. I need to find an intake manifold. If you have any good intake manifold recommendations, let me know in the comments. I'm not claiming to be an expert, so I'm thinking right now I'm just leaning towards an LS1 manifold. But we'll see. I'm also trying to do this on the cheaper side, so we'll see what comes up on Facebook in the next week or so. All right, next we're gonna tear the valve covers off, get a look inside. It's really not half bad. I know I took the valley off, which I'll show you here in a minute, to put the engine pickup, like the crane point on. There's a little bit of wear on the cam, but oh no, it's not half bad. I mean, we got a little bit of oil staining from whatever this previous owner used, but all in all, I mean, oh, okay, that's just, that push rod's down, that's why. I was like, ooh, that's concerning. Oh, that is concerning, actually. Never mind. That should not be like that. That's concerning. Okay, so I went and I checked the other side, and none of them are loose like that. I mean, there's a little bit of play, but nothing anywhere. I mean, that's probably the worst one, but nothing like this. So I'm assuming this is a collapsed lifter, or the cam is ground down. This is pretty common with the DoD AFM motors, so not super worried about it as long as we don't find any piles of metal shavings or anything, or when I drain the oil, there's not much shit in it. We should be fine. I plan to replace the cam, lifters, push rods, valves, springs, retainers anyway, because with tracking this car and with it seeing a lot of high RPM, we're gonna have to rebuild the valve train anyway. So not super worried about that right now, but was hoping to not find any oddities of damage. But we're gonna start next we're gonna pull the crank pulley off so I can confirm this has or does not have VVT. I'm pretty sure the cam will delete all that anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but we're gonna tear into that next, inspect for any damage. I need to buy a timing kit, I know, but we're gonna take a look at it first. Okay, so I have confirmed that wiggly lifter most likely means that this motor dropped the lifter. So I was not intending to go this far into this motor in this video. I had planned to just be showing you the project and introducing the concept, but I am going to go ahead and pull the head so we can take a look at it. I went ahead and I put the motor, cylinder 1 top dead center, I believe. I watched the intake valve open and then close, and then before the exhaust valve opened, I stopped. And then the piston is right there, I felt with the spark plug hole, so should be good there. But I guess I'm gonna start tearing the head apart, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna start by taking the rockers off. I don't know if that's supposed to look like that. on, focus. Guess we'll find out as we take more apart. Nothing like taking a platform apart for the first time when you have no idea what you're doing. I pulled the motor out of my parts E46 yesterday, and I have to say, that was fun because it's like the 4th time I've done it. There was no, oh, well, I hope I remember how this goes back together. Understood. The head bolts are way longer than that, but. Ooh, the scary part. So I need to do 10 first. And these, I believe, are torque yields. I can't reuse these. 10. All right, moment of truth, I guess. Heard these are kind of heavy. Dump a bunch of water. No? Okay. That's good. Wow, that is not pretty. Okay, so not ideal, but it's really not that bad. I mean, we got a little bit of something going on here. It's not pretty, but I'm gonna look into if I can buff it or hone it or whatever. There's definitely water sitting in the cylinder at some point. The rest of them look pretty good. A little bit of crud here and there, but not bad. But then the lifters, I pulled them all out. Of the DOD ones, can you tell me which one's stuck? I thought it was pretty obvious. So luckily that was it. The cam lobe is not bad. Again, I'm replacing the cam, but it's that lobe right there, if this will focus. There you have it, yeah. So just like a wider wear path that was probably just bouncing around in there. Because it doesn't look that different than the other ones. No like shavings or anything, so that cam bearing's a little concerning, but we'll figure it out. But all in all, not half bad for a junkyard motor, essentially. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna tear the other head off. All right, second head off. There's still a little bit of crap in some of these cylinder bores. They're not perfect. I mean, high mile motor. I use a little ATF in this one and let it soak a little. It seems like it's getting some more of the stuff out. But I might look into doing a hone, like a flex hone or something, see what I can get out. But we're gonna have to work with what we got. I'd really like to not have to buy another motor, but we've diagnosed the stuck lifter, got it all torn apart. Now I can start ordering parts and we can put it back together and make it something cooler than a 5.3 Chark motor. All right, we have our starting point for the swap. Got our foundation to build off of. I just have to buy a bunch more parts now. So I have a couple more videos coming on this car on other things. I'm gonna start accumulating parts in the background, you know, do what I can to get good deals on stuff, buy what I can used. And we'll start moving forward with this. There's a little twist to this swap that I'll let you guys in on as it happens, but there's a much more interesting stuff to come with this. But let me know in the comments if you have any recommendations of what I should and shouldn't buy, if there's good brands, bad brands. recommendations for cams. As I said, I've never built an LS before, so first time doing this. So if you have any pointers, let me know. As always, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook for more content, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.